in my heart, I always knew like if I live without music, I'll be miserable. So it was a natural choice to go to São Paulo, which was the biggest center. Yeah, it was okay, but I was always more interested in okay with this structure, with this music school. What can I do to match what I love to do, which is to play, be with people, play chamber music, play concerts. So aside from going to classes, I was always kind of finding ways to perform. Get together with the people. I was very snappy. Any opportunity that came my way, um, snappy or reckless, I don't know. The usual preconceived notion that career in music is very uncertain, but it's not like it was not a real worry. It was just something like, oh, that's what everybody's doing, so maybe I should. But then I was like, you know what? It sounds fancy and all, but you should do what you love, not what other people are doing. So if you find what you love and then you try to make money out of it, then you're in good shape. That's the only formula I
Mhm.
live. I was glad to know that a person like Joseph Haydn, the contemporary of Mozart, he's a self-made man. He didn't have Mozart's parents helping him. He was a almost like an orphan, lived with his uncle, and then the way he learned music was by saying yes to whatever, arranging, composing, singing, playing piano, playing. He's basically self-taught. So I was like, oh, good to know. Not that I don't dare compare myself to Haydn, but I like to find out people that they have this type of history. They just hey, let me try this, let me try that, let me see, and then of course now I'm older, and I have not health concerns, but if I go to bed at 2 a.m., it's not like before. These days I say no a lot of times, but mostly I try first. Let me see what this is, and then if I regret it, okay, then I don't do it again. But then I may gain something out of it. When I was at University of São Paulo, there was a competition there. That if you win, you get a scholarship to study in Germany for 2 months. So like, hey, that's cool. So I went there, did the competition, won it, and my parents, I remember, they were so like, now you're gonna go to Germany. We're so worried we're not gonna be able to advise you and be there to guide you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm ready to go and want to be free. I always had this thing. So instead of 2 months, I stayed a year. I tried to call everybody I knew there, friends, conductor friends, composers, um, and say, I'm here. Can you hook me up with anything you have? So I got at least a few concerts in Germany, Switzerland, got to travel a lot, and of course, spent a lot of money. But I thought this was my chance to be in Europe. You know, if you want to be good at writing papers, you need to just write, and then if you need to be good at reading books, poetry, anything, you just read everything you can. But the danger of sight reading, um, which now I avoid like a plague. Like in a situation, you have to sight read, and then you play with the big person or whatever. Substitute somebody in a rehearsal or read quickly is you may overlook certain things in the music, and you may mistreat your skill in order to get by, not lose your pulse and whatnot. So these days, I'm more like, yeah, I can sight read, but I rather not to. I rather practice it first, learn it well, digest it well. Because a
Mhm.
lot of things that I sight read in the past, I look at it like, wow, I don't remember even playing it. So you have to eat it in the right way, digest it in the right way. So I rather, if I can, I have a chance to practice it. I'll do it first instead of reading. I always had this romanticized version of what it is to be a musician. I thought I had to go to Europe. I had to go to United States. I had to go places. That's um, because that's where music I was studying was from. So I always thought I had to get out of Brazil so I can now I miss a lot of Brazilian music that I didn't explore when I was there. So now instead of being here, I want to just go back there and dig into all the Brazilian composers I could. But I always in my head I had to be out and about. Yeah, so Boston was not in the plan. I had my teacher in the university in my undergrad studied in Boston at the New England Conservatory, and then he knew me very well. That I was kind of always flying around. So he knew there was a big teacher in Boston, a Korean teacher, who would put a tight leash on me. Go there, go see this Korean teacher. She's gonna, you know, tune you up as we put the whip on you. And and so that's why I came. And when I was younger, I had a thing for chamber music because I always loved the Brahms, and he what he wrote for chamber music is like a treasure, and I always wanted to find ways to be involved with the people. It's much more fun having a concert with with friends, with other humans. Alone is it's one thing, but pianists tend to have this I don't know. We always call it a lonely or egocentric mode of life that sometimes I like it, sometimes, but most of the time I want to be uh, with other colleagues, other musicians, share music together. So when I was growing up, the way Brazilian music was presented to me was in the okay, here's your Bach, here's your Mozart. Oh, then you have to do Brazilian music. It was a kind of yeah, we have to do it kind of thing. So the scores were like handwritten or not as fancy as the Mozart sonata book. So I never had a taste for it. But then now the quantity of Brazilian pianists out there and Brazilian composers now that I'm connected with, they uh, it's just what I play is just a tip of the iceberg. There is so much that we don't know yet. So I'm currently helping a institution there that does a research. It's like a research center. So anything Brazilian, so new scores, old scores, undiscovered, Villa Lobos pieces, or anything, uh, or Brazilian pianists, anything to do with the Brazilian music, Brazilian musicians go to that center. So I've been helping them and they give me monthly updates on what's being written, what's new. They send me requests to, oh, can you record this piece? And we're gonna send on YouTube with the score so people can follow the music with the score. Um, so I'm getting much more involved, and I'm a little behind now, actually, trying to discover everything that's there. To be completely honest with you, I'll tell you, I don't really know. I was at Boston University doing my doctorate. Over there, I did everything I could. I did all the internal competitions, but then I decided also not to stay just in the practice room. So in my time, now it's going on. It's a little out of control, but in my time, not many people were traveling outside and doing competitions outside of the school. But I wanted to, go see other pianists and uh, when you go for us pianists, we do a lot of piano competitions. That's a way to find network, see the judges, see other teachers, and see the styles of playing. So I was always doing that. So I got a lot of visibility in my own school because I was going. In a way, I didn't even know that, but now I know. But I was bringing the name of the school abroad, basically. Uh, so my name kept popping up in the faculty, and then my piano teacher unfortunately passed away in 2012, and Boston University had about 100 pianists at that time, and they thought, I don't know why they thought that way, but because I was doing all these things outside, they thought, oh, maybe he can teach some of these students. So that's how I started. That's how I was hired. That's how it happened. My first step into academia was just like, um, I think I was producing a lot in their eyes. You know, not necessarily winning competition, but just going out and playing. They
Hmm.
thought I had something to share with them. So that's how it started, and then the Tanglewood happened because I was going there, playing, working with the kids as a student. Um, but people thought I was always good with relationship. Being able to we practice a lot our instrument, but ultimately sometimes people want somebody who can function um, in a human to human basis. Sometimes you don't want to collaborate with the best musician. You want to collaborate with somebody you like. So I was very personable, and then I think they saw that in me that I could be a good musician and also somebody could write an email nicely. My superiors would always send me to talk to prospective students and to their families. You cannot send sometimes the best pianists to talk to these people because they don't know what to say because they only play piano. So a lot of people just practice and they forget life. So I was one of them that they thought they could trust me to go talk to a prospective student's parents and not say anything stupid. Upper levels of who start noticing these things and they thought, oh, maybe would you like to direct this program? And it's like, yeah, sure. I mean, tell me what to do and I'll do my best. And then I think what they like also, it's like, I think I told them, like, listen, I have no idea how this works. And if you teach me, I'll learn it. If I get it wrong, I'll ask help. They appreciate that type of simplicity, I think, and humility. I think it's important to be balanced. In my master's specifically, um, I was really obsessed with the practicing. So I would be every time I say this, people laugh at me. But I think I was practicing close to 12 hours a day. I was just it was something that was working for me at the moment. I was not forcing it on myself. I was just naturally happily wake up at 5 in the morning in high spirits and let me go to conservatory, get the piano. Then I'll practice and then I would take a walk and come back. And then there was a time I was um, learning Messiaen, Von Regard. It's like a 20 visions on the child Jesus. I'm not very religious. I'm from Catholic country, but for the first time I thought, oh, since I'm learning this, let me read the Bible. So I start reading the Bible. So that goes into the 12 hours a day and taking breaks. But I was really happy, not miserable. And then when that was stopped working for me, it started hurting. Like, okay, then now I practice not that 12 hours. But I'm sure in these 12 hours, I'm sure I also wasted a lot of time. But I didn't know that. Now I know. And now because of the kid, we have like, okay, I have until 12 to practice before it comes to school, from school. And you have to just be practicing smarter. If it works for you 1 hour a day and you're very intelligent, efficient, then it's better than 10 wasted hours um, doing, you know, robotic stuff that doesn't really make any sense to you. It's gonna hurt your hand. So balance meaning, is this working or not? Then if it's working, keep doing it. If it's not working, change it. I have a student here who's suffering a lot because she only practices but doesn't get better. So there's something wrong with the practice, and it might be her hands, it might be the way she's thinking music. And then I told her, why don't you take a break? Go, just be somebody normal. Go read a book, eat some good food, and come back and try again to refresh. Yep. And I just told her yesterday, Brahms, we just talked about Brahms. These people would like go on a hike for hours, explore nature, be with other humans, and then go back and write music. They were not obsessed. You have to really find what you really love. I think when you go to the job market, a lot of people are looking for authenticity. You know, if you go to audition and play a piece that you think they want to hear, but you're not necessarily comfortable with it, you might not do as well. So you really have to explore a lot in order to find what you like and what you're good at, and showcase that to people. And then also, don't try to do things for resume sake. Oh, I should do this so I can put in my resume, because it might not be true to you. You just really dig into your true passion, even outside music. I'm sure in these 12 hours, I'm sure I also wasted a lot of time, but I didn't know that. Now I know. And now, because of the kid, we have like, okay, I have until 12 to practice before it comes to school, from school. And you have to just be practicing smarter. 2 weeks ago, we played Mendelssohn Double Concerto for violin and piano. And then I'm playing again tomorrow. And then uh, next week, we go to Boston, played there twice. It's a beautiful piece, and Bach D minor concerto for keyboard. Those were not my choices. I had to, it was contracted to play them, and I'm loving them now. But in January, I want to do a program. Not sure yet, but I always wanted to do a program with piano etudes, a mix of Debussy, Chopin, Liszt, the Brazilian etudes. And I'm always fascinated by etudes, not necessarily the crazy fast ones, just you know, it's when composers were the most um, aware of what technique they wanted to showcase. You cannot tell your mind to be inspired. So when I'm a little bored or kind of not, I don't feel like nothing's happening, then I insist a little bit. You try, okay, let me try to sing it. I'll sing this passage, see if it inspires me. Okay, it doesn't work. Then, okay, let me hear a recording. Maybe I can get an idea. Uh, but you should be effectively doing something, not just physically, but like something needs to be always clicking. I was trying to get a right tempo for this Bach concerto that I'm playing, and it was really like I felt I was just like fighting myself, fighting the keyboard, fighting the notes. Like, God, this is so horrible. And then I decided to, okay, let me play for somebody. So I scheduled the scariest thing you can do is to play for your own students. So I scheduled a little studio class yesterday, and they came all judgmental and sat down like, oh, let me see, you keep telling us what to do. Now let's see how you play. Going through this nerve thing of performing for them. Then today I got to the concerto again. Like, then a lot of tempo choices are clearer. It's sort of like you baptism by fire. You go through your nerves, and then the piece kind of is digested more. So now I feel better. So that was one solution for my. I cannot figure it out. You have to find ways to trigger the mind. It's like eating good food. What food should I eat to make me feel good? Then, what movement should I play to make me? Sometimes I know I have to practice a certain passage, but I know I don't like it. So then I play something that I like first and see if it kind of makes the synapses, make the brain cells be in love with each other. And then, okay, now I go to the passage I don't like and see if I can play inspired way.
Thank you so much.